Easy crew, how's it going? So someone had requested I make a video of me making a loop or a beat from scratch on the hardware. So yeah, this is it. Bit of a longer video, this one. I don't know if it's my best work. Who knows? I might scrap it. I might come back to it. More about the process, and you know, I had fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video and stick around to the end. So I've been messing around. It's for the last, say, 5 minutes. And I'm really liking this sound. I like that. So I'm going to sample it. That's going to be step one. Right, cool. So I've got this Alan Heath mixer over here, hooked up to this little MacBook. It's my work MacBook. I've got Ableton Live 12 Lite on it, and I'm just going to use it to sort of start compiling some samples from this side of the room. Here we go, smash record, and let's play a note. Alright, so just going to take a little bass from this one here. Just hit record up here. I'll take a short one like that, right? Alright, and we'll just take a little something from there. So smash record up here again. That'll do. And yeah, while we're here, we might as well take a couple of bits from here, right? Something like that, maybe. I'm just going to chuck some reverb on this. Let's go over here, output to the reverb. Let's turn it up. I'm just going to smash a ton on there. All right. Some of that, hey? All right, we're going to take a gunshot as well, and maybe just for something mad. This really aliases when you pitch things down. Let's chuck a load of reverb on that. It's pretty mad. I'll find a couple more things. This can be my wheel up kind of vibe. It's a telephone. Take this as well. I love the filter sound on this thing. Alright, last thing I'm going to take is this very dramatic string here. Hell a lie, let's take a reverse cymbal from here, so we can just reverse it here. Give it some of that. Let's turn it up a little bit, it might be a bit quiet. Actually, we'll take both, right? We're going to take a reverse and a crash. So I'm just tidying up the samples here. This is the last one. I find the easiest way to do this, you know, I'm basically just going to dump these on a USB and take them over to the other setup to sample them into the S950. Let's just call this Sims. Alright, there we go. And then I'll just go like crop clips. Taking a second there, crop clips. You know, and then I'll just say, show them in Finder. Where are we? Yeah, show them in Finder. You know, if you've done your crop clips there, it will just, it will name them, and then I'll just drag them from there onto the USBs. All right, and there we go. So there's our samples. We've got some bass sounds there, some birds, this chime. Oh, got that twice. This one, the cymbals, effect. that one, the phone, and the TD3. I've written TD2. Alright, so we'll chuck them on the USB and take them over there and sample them. Alright, so it is a little bit later in the day. I just thought I'd come back to this, the pad that I made on here. This is pretty common knowledge, but if anyone don't know, this has got this chord memory, which, you know, you play a few notes and it saves the notes and you can then play them with one key. If you didn't know that already, most of you do, I'm sure. But yeah, so I tried to, you know, obviously there's always a little bit of thought behind the things that you do, and I was going for something that had a kind of a major-ish sound, but with a bit of a wide voicing, you know, so that the intervals were spaced out. Really, yeah, just trying to find something that wasn't like a standard chord grip that you might play. I'm not a piano player, so what I came up with may well be standard if you're an experienced player, but it was beyond what I would normally do. So let's try something. I don't even know if this is the same sound, right? But we'll play in some notes here. So I'm gonna go C and put a fourth in there, third, and what would that be? A sixth. Right, so now I go to chord memory and see, now I've got that there. It's nice, I like that. I'm happy with that. So we're over here at the Amiga and the S950, and we'll get some of those sounds onto the sampler, and you know, we'll chuck a few breaks in and we'll see what happens. All right, so here we are. This is my little sample kind of folder where I chuck all my samples, and I'll just you know, start going through now and getting them in the sampler. And you know, I've done this a bunch here on the channel, so I'm pretty sure you guys know how this part works. So you know, here's the thing, you know, I'm being a bit selective about what I pitch up and, you know, what I don't, what I keep as kind of high quality or as, you know, higher quality, and I'm going to leave this as it is. It's pretty short anyway, so, you know, there's not really a need to pitch it up too much, and I want to maintain a fair bit of it, fair bit of the quality. So I'm sure you guys have seen how this works. So here we are, I'm going to sample it. Let's call it bass. I click letter there, and then I can give it a name. So bass, and you know, maybe we'll spell it properly, maybe we won't. No, we're going to leave it like that. Why not? Let's go crazy. You know what? I'm going to chuck. Let's just do that. All right. Well, so I'm going to give it about 450. I can see the time there of the sample. That's just how I do it, and it just means I can be a little bit more accurate with what I'm recording here. 450. I'm going to record it in at C. I won't show you each one of these. I'm just going to do this, and on here, just send it to the output. I've got the patch bay down here, so I'm sending it out of my output 5. There it is. Boom. And it's in there. All right, now my playback button is a little bit dodgy. I need to fix it. So I just use channel 1 and I'll check that sample. He says, and it doesn't work. Oh yeah, because I haven't put my MIDI active yet. Cool. There it is. There we go. And of course I've still got the tone bass, so I can do something with this. And I can do something with the tone bass, we'll see. You know, these are just starting places. I might even, who knows, it might sound crap and I'll scrap it. We'll see. All right, so I'm just going to repeat that process for the rest of the sounds and we'll get them in here and then we'll make a key group. All right, so sorry, I probably should have done a time lapse on that for anyone who's interested in how long these things take. But I think that took me about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. I've got all the sounds on here now, so there's that bass bird, the chime thing, pad 1, that old loop, you know, reverse cymbal, we got a normal cymbal, that weird sound, don't know what I'll do with that. That thing, gunshot, this pad, that's from the Poly 800 there, phone, and the TD3 sound there. And that's it, so we'll make a key group now. Getting ahead of myself there, I almost forgot we need a couple of breaks, so I'm just going to chuck in a sesame break here. And we'll bring the level on that down, it's clipping a bit, and the amen, I'm going to chop it from there, I'm going to have that bit. Alright, so yeah, there we go, we've got an amen in there, so I'll just turn that up a little bit for you, crank it over here, so yeah, we've got an amen, and I also chucked in that sesame break. All right, so next we'll chuck a key group together. Now hopefully you can see the screen there, hopefully it's not too bright, but so with all those sounds so far I've only used up 32% of the memory. Now we might want some vocals and other bits in there, and we should have room for that, you know. So I've got Optimed open here as well, and I'm just gonna get cracking with this. So I'll start off with the breaks. So let's give this program a name. Let's call it I don't know, let's just call it loop video, or just loop. Loop, there we go, there we are, and we'll kick off with one of the breaks. We'll go amen first. Did I pass it? No I didn't, there we go, break B was the amen, and I'll put it on middle C. There we go, middle C, and forget what page it's on. I want constant pitch on. Turn the Omni off. All right, so there we are. So that's there. Sorry, where's my sound? Let's sort this side out. Here we go. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is just, so I'm just triggering that from the Amiga keyboard here. I'm just going to get that at the speed I want for the project. Not bad. All right, a little bit of a flam there. So I'll slow it down a bit. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So while I'm here, you know, I'm just gonna chop a couple of bits in this amen, and I'll get them as the first few keys on the key group. So we'll go back to sample edit, and let's get that amen again. There it is. Now I'm going to call this 2, and we'll just let's get that. I want, what page is that again? There we go. Let's go down. Sounds pretty on the money, actually. Let's do it. We'll just use it like that. Yep, that will do. So page 10 is where you can chop that. Discard before, start, and after end, whatever you've chopped off. So that's that one. I will do another chop, right? We'll just take one more. So go here, letter. Let's call this one 3, and let's do a chop. Let's do, oh, actually, we'll do 2 more chops, right? We'll have one from one of the cymbals at the end there. So let's go down a bit. Not too much. That one there. I think that's about right. It's just, I'll see if I can come back a bit on that one. Maybe there, actually. Yep. Do one more chop to just get that last, the kick and the ride there of the amen. But I'm going to call it there. That will be fine. Let's go back up to 10. Chop it, and we'll just chuck those now on our key group. So I'll copy the one that I had there, and then go over here, and we'll put 2 there. Put that on 61. Go back to this page. We'll copy that one, and go over here. We'll go 3 on the next key in the key group, and copy that one. Yeah, and 4, we'll put that there, and I think that was it, right? That's all I did. Yeah, so that's that. So now we've got, yeah, that'll do. All right, and like I say, I'm just triggering those over here. Look. All right. Oh, actually, you know what I should have done first? Just makes it easier rather than having to set it for each key group after, if I'd copied them with the settings of where I'm outputting them to and what MIDI channel. So we're going to go, we'll send this one out of 1, and now I've got into the habit of doing this because the Groovebox occupies MIDI channels 1 to 7, so I normally start from 8 just in case later down the line, if I decide I want to use some sounds from the Groovebox, then I've got them spare. So we'll do that. All right, so we'll do that with all of these ones. We'll put them on 8. So there's key group 1, key group 2. See, if I've done this on the first time, I wouldn't have to set it for each one. We'll do the same thing. All right, so that's now assigned to channel 1 on the mixing desk over here. So we'll do the same thing with the next one. I mean, you see the process, right? So for the next one, actually, I'll show you how I do the next one, and then we'll just skip forward. because there's no point you watching me do all of these. So now we want the next break, right? So I'm just going to copy that key group now, copy it, and go over here, and we'll get the next break. There was actually this one. Now this one we're going to go on a different MIDI channel, right? So actually I could have copied the first of the key group because it was on middle C, and we're going to just change this now. We're going to go output 2, and we'll change it to MIDI 9, and we'll go up here. That's good actually, and we'll need to tune it in to the session and get it looping nicely. Let's do that, shall we? So I should show you how I get this bit done. All right, let's just bring that over here. You can see that, right? So I've just popped that break there, and it should re-trigger here, right? And it looks like it's too fast. All right, so we'll slow it down. Oh. I think I missed a bit off the end of it when I sampled it in, but you know what? I think that will be fine. Like, it might even add something, and I'm going to chop it up anyway. All right, so look, I'm going to call that. That'll be fine. So what I'll do is, for the next portion of this key group, I think I'll take, let's do the bass next, and I'll give, let's go low here. I'll give the sound that we made on the synth over there a little portion. Let's go from C0 to C2 maybe, I don't know, it's probably too much, but it will do. So I'm going to chuck that through channel 8. That's where I like to have my bass. All right, so you see we got to pitch this. Sorry, I forgot I put it on a low part of the key group. So let's pitch this up. All right. You know what, I want to get the pad in there before I start writing the bass line. Where's that? Look at that. Actually, I'll finish making the key groups. This is how I roll. I start being creative. Now, I actually don't want. Actually, probably more like there, maybe. No, back where we were. Pitch thing. Alright, so at this point, so I normally work in blocks of 2, 5, 6, what we're doing. Here we go, but we'll start like this, right? Go in the middle there. So, actually, I want that to be short. Let's cut that off probably there. that. All right, that's what we're going to do. So we'll go. We'll get rid of that. So, shorten those like that, and we'll put a little bit of a roll fade type thing. Actually, let's fade down, so we'll go from high to low-ish. All right, jump over to range and go like that. Right, that's not good. What did I do? Oh, Muppet. That's no good, is it? Look, we're going to do this again. Didn't work out well, that. So I want to go from 6. Well, yeah, that should have been fine. What are you doing to me? There you go. Yeah, that'll do. Let's jam around with this bass a bit before we carry on, alright? I should name these as I go along. So this is our Amen. The next one is our Sesame, wasn't it? Yeah, and then this next one was our bass. Spelt wrong, because that's how I'm rolling. So let's just, so that was down here, wasn't it? Try that. Yeah, right. You know what? I'm going to reverse one of those basses. Let's do it, right? So come down here. We'll once I've done this, I will chuck the rest of these sounds in there, but I'm just vibing, right? There you go. We'll call this one bass R for reverse. All right, bass R down here. All right. Range. We'll make sure that that stops there. let's start with, we'll put the pads in. Actually, first I'll chuck a tone bass on there as well, because I'll probably use that. So if you don't know already, the S950 and other S series samplers come with a sine wave built in. So we'll just, oh, that's loud, that is. Let's turn that down a bit. And unmute it on the desk. Oh, I like it already. You know what? That might sound nice. Let's just copy this block. Yeah, like that. You know, and we could have the tone bass do something. Ooh. Where did I put it? What should I put there? I'm just sort of getting a feel for what's happening, and then I'm going to save this. I'll come back to it later. Let's go from the top. So it is actually a different day. I had to go out and do some stuff with the kids, and then when I got back it was too late to record through the speakers. So I actually did a few bits in the headphones, but we're still pretty much in the same spot. I thought I'd bring us a bit closer. So let's see what I've got to here. Right, is that the beginning? Ah. Yeah, let's, sorry, so straight away there, I don't want the bass in from the get-go. Let's start off like this. Now I've put some, sort of guide vocals in there, or scratch vocals. I'm going to search for some more. These are ones that I've used before. Anyway. happened to that reverse symbol there? I need to change that. That's not doing what it's supposed to. But basically, yeah, we got like something needs to come in there, and I've got it already. But now here's the thing, sometimes I've got to make sure, like I like to try and make sure that things happen when you'd expect them to, and that's like to do DJs a bit of a favour and myself a bit of a favour when I'm trying to mix these things. So I've got an odd number of blocks here that leaves a sort of weird number of bars, and I don't want that. So my blocks are 8 bars. Now what is that, you're wondering? Well, what is that? Let's make that come in the bar before, and we'll edit a few things about here. So that is, I'll show you what that is, and that's a bit of fun. Let's just, so we're going to copy that track now. You do that in the block panel here, copy, I'm on the track, I've got my little doodah on the track. Oh sorry, that's that one. See, my red selection is on the track. I'm going to copy that track and go back to the previous block. So there's a shortcut for that, shift arrow up and down. You go back to the back and forward through your blocks. Yeah, actually, let's talk about some shortcuts. Someone asked about shortcuts. So shift and up and down will scroll through your blocks, right? Hold shift and do the left and right arrows, and you'll scroll through your different instruments. All right. What else is there? And hold alt and go left and right, and you'll select different tracks. And yeah, that's that. Someone asked what copy paste is. So Control C and you copy, look, and then paste is Control V. So where is it? So it's in block 9, copy that track and go back to block 8, and I'm going to paste it there. So I've copied that. All right, so now let's talk about what that is. So this wonderful tower here that I love dearly, someone had this sat in their shed and they gave it to me about probably 9 years ago. They were going to chuck it out. They'd had it in their shed for a year, and I've got it running XP. I've got this little switch box here. So I've got it running XP, and I've got a SCSI card in there that hooks up with the S2000, which allows me to use, not only use Mesa, which is like a GUI for the S2000, where you can create programs and do all the fun stuff. You've even got like all of the all of your parameters in one place there, your envelope and LFOs, all that stuff, right in one place, which is nice. You can create your key groups and whatnot, like, yeah, everything's here. So yeah, you got that. Like I said, I don't really use that too much for that kind of thing. I mainly use it so if I want to just name something quickly, I can just go in you see me sort of fumbling around trying to find the pages because I'm just not, I don't really use it that much. But yeah, there is a window somewhere, he says. I closed it, didn't I? It's the Explorer. Let's open that again. Yeah, so if I want to rename a sample, I can just double click it and rename it there, and I'm good. That makes life easier, just being able to name the samples quickly. But what I do is I use Wavelab to send samples to the sampler, which is rad. What version? Let's have a look. So this is Wavelab 4.0, 1995 build. This is. Let's go through a bunch of delay on this. Oh, actually, someone asked if I ever make tunes on just the S950, and I don't, but only because I don't have any rack effects. Feel free to donate some to the channel. The only thing I've got is this Chaos pad here that I've set up as a send and return, just running mono. But the reverbs on that thing I think are awful. I'd love a quadriverb, midi-verb, anything actually with multiple effects that I could use would be amazing. But yeah, so it just means because I want to use the gain on the Mackie to saturate some of the sounds coming from the S950, I've just got all 8s going into the Mackie, all 8 outs going into the Mackie here, but no effects, so this thing runs dry. That's why I mainly use it for breaks and bass, pretty much. But in this track, I've sort of, just to show that you can, I've put other things in there. We've got a pad in there, we've got some vocals, like, of course you can. But yeah, just the way I've got my stuff set up, because I'm using like multi-core cables, it's difficult to separate and have, 4 outs coming into the desk here, and this desk up here, I've got it's got built-in effects. So I guess I could split and have 4 of the 950 outs going in there. But look, this is just the way I use it. I've got it set up. I've got 8 outs from the 2000 going into this desk, which then comes into this desk in this stereo input, and then the 8 outs of the Mackie S950 and the JV and the Groove Box just come into the Mackie. And that's that. Anyway, back to this thing. So yeah, what you can do here is just like jump in. I've got some samples on here. This is from the Future Music CD. I mean, these probably well and truly rinsed, but there you go. I could take that if I wanted to. Of course, I'm going to chuck it in mono, because that's how I prefer to work in the S2000. Alright, so let's just take that one side there, and of course what I can do is pitch it up a little bit. Actually, you can just press T, that's nice, isn't it? And we don't want to preserve the pitch, we'll go high quality. Let's just make that faster. Got to select it, of course. Boom, boom. That's just to save a bit of time inside the sampler. All right, and then I can just, let's close that. Go to sampling, go to transmit, refresh the sampler. That's what's in the sampler already, and boom, transmit, and Bob's your uncle. That sound is now, he says, in there. And from there, like, now I can, because I didn't name it, obviously I dragged it out as a mono sample. Let's refresh this thing, sampler, refresh. There it is. So now I can just rename that. What should we call it? F music. Sounds like a SH 101-ish sort of thing. I don't know. Something like that. anyway, it doesn't really matter, does it? As long as you know what it is. And now, of course, that's named on there. You know, and then I could even, if I wanted to, just chuck that on a key group. So now if I just go over to the, where did I have that? There's that sound. Of course, it's super high. I can go in and, well, we pitched up the sample, so let's already in here just bring it down like that. And because we're in key track mode rather than constant pitch, wherever you place it on the keyboard, it's going to play it at a higher pitch. Look, see, I'm so used to going to this window here that you know what, and we might want to span that out, right, a bit further, because you know you'd want to do something musical with that. So let's give it a few keys. All right, let's continue. I'll take it from the top. I'm kind of thinking, like I say, we'll change those vocals. I'm going to change the bass as well. I don't like the tone bass following the... Right, not all of it. Maybe we'll just have... and leave that. I'm going to turn that shaper down. Let's just... yeah, that's just over here. MIDI 10. Turn it down. Oh, yeah. That needed a real gap there, right? So you've got 2 bars of like the pad being in there. I say 2 bars, I mean blocks. So after 16 bars, we'll give it a little bit of a breather. So what will give us the breather? Let's see, maybe we'll just lose the brakes there. Let's turn that off. Well, never FFO when you want to FFF, all right? Just know that, because that's going to speed shit up and that's not good. Maybe we'll leave the fill in there at the end, or maybe... Well, it's not going to give us much space, actually. Let's just see what happens if we take all of that off. So this is Control X, of course. Let's see. Probably the bass as well, right? Yeah. Nice for the pad to come out there. Ooh. So let's try it again. So we'll take that bass out as well from there. Cut that. And make sure there's none of that. Yeah, no, there is none of that sesame break. Although, let's just go back there. We'll probably, let's let's stop that as well. Oh, actually, I've probably taken too much of that. See, that was unintentional, but I kind of liked how it left that tone bass just. That was nice. It was nice. I liked it. Yeah, that's cool actually. And then we'll like maybe drop that pad out again for a block. Let's see, shall we? Just cut it off there. Put a stop in. I mean, that might be too abrupt, but we'll see. Let's see what happens, right? This is fun. We're having fun. All right, we're making music. It's fun. What am I doing? What am I doing? Let's go. Let's put, you know, that shaker from before, it was a bit loud. That one. Let's put that in. So we'll copy that track to, let's go to play, where is it? So it would be 9 is where, 16, block 16. Let's do it. Block 16, paste the shaker. So let's hear this. So then we get like a new dynamic coming in. You know, this is something I like to do. Let's tie in. Let's do some gnarly let's like, I like doing this. Wait, where's my bass? Is it on that track there? Oh. So look, this is fun. Like, I mean, you can obviously you can do any of this stuff in anywhere, and we'll make a video like that. We'll do something fully in Ableton. But I just like the way that this is all just directly in front of you. And say I want to like synchronize these three things, immediately I can just highlight that. You know, it's like having MIDI tracks on your, you know, Ableton or whatever, and being able to just like select notes from different tracks and shit. Look, I don't know, maybe you guys know of a software you can do that, but whatever, I'm just doing it here. I can copy that and I can make a what did I just do? I didn't copy it, did I? Fortunately, I know, right, that my block 18 here is a copy of 16, so I'm just going to put that track right, go back to 16, paste that track back in there, so we're back to as we were. And what I was going to do was take these guys here, we'll copy them, all right, and I'm just going to like match stuff up with that bass, like, you know, and you can take a bunch of stuff, like vocals and things, and just like, yeah, match them together, and it's fun. I feel like I want to break up the rhythm a bit here, and I think I will. So what we're going to do is we're going to use, let's just delete that, and we're going to do some 6-line stuff. He says, let's see what happens if I do that. more bass, don't we? Yeah, I like it. So let's just hear that in context. So we're going from here. Where did that bass go that was just like a tone bass? I liked that, didn't I? And it's gone. Let's just use that. Alright, and we'll stop it at the end just in case. Alright, so that shaker back just for now. Yeah, let's just have that shaker back for now so that we know we want something in there that's going to do that. And like we'll put a stop in there on line 96. Cut. Should we leave the shaker for the DJs out there? You know, something like that. Let's do this before I wrap up. I'll just, you know, we can see where this is heading. What I was trying to fulfill was someone asked about watching me make a beat, a loop from scratch. All right, we're turning into a bit of an arrangement here. Now, I found these, I think these are charity shop finds. They were just on my shelf up there. And I thought it'd be fun just to, why don't we have a look and see what's on them. Apologies for any screen flicker. You know, I'm doing this very crudely today. I just haven't got the patience at the moment or the time to set things up in a way that we can record the audio properly. I just don't have it going on. So yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, maybe I should. Oh. 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 Let's use them. I'll take that one. I normally make those sort of sounds on my monotribe. Is it monotribe? Monotron? Yeah. Let's look at what else we got there. So I love a reverse cymbal. Let's take it. It's there. We'll take it. Let's have those through. Yeah, let's just do it. Open. We do need a vocal for this. I'll get to that, but for now, let's just do what we're doing. All right. I'm gonna make that mono. Which one's this? We'll just use that one for now. I'm gonna take some of that airtime that we don't need off there. Stretchy, you know, make it a bit smaller. and we'll slow it down in the sampler. Let's transmit that to the sampler quickly. Bosh, sending it over to the S2000. It'll be in there. Yeah, sweet. That's cool. I like it. That's all right. Now, that sound shouldn't be there, should it? Is that? Yeah, I see what that is. That's this thing. Let's get rid of it. Alright, so you know what? We're going to leave it there. I'm just going to fix, because I said I was going to change the tone bass. And I know there's sounds that are sampled over there that I haven't used yet in here, but I'll get to it. There. Yeah. Let's do that. And then we'll cut these notes. Dum dum dum. Oh, where does it finish? Let's cut that. Yeah, and we'll cut those. And there you go, you know, that's how things roll. What I'll do is, now obviously I then send a sync from Ableton to Octamed, and then I track out into Ableton for the final mix. Obviously everything's still got, it comes from the desk to Ableton, but then over there I can do a little bit more surgical mixing where it needs it, you know, and compression and stuff. Like I say, if I had perhaps, you know, I've got this compressor and I do use that sometimes, but yeah, some outboard effects would just be gold. You know, yeah, I'd love that, but hey, you just got to work with what you got, right? So what I'll do is I'll just do a stereo bounce into live. We'll finish out the video with a bit of playback of the track so you can hear it somewhere other than just the telephone microphone there, and that'll be that. So yeah, big up everyone. I hope that was interesting. Like I say, I've just kind of, when people comment, ask for things, I'll try and do them. And someone had asked about making a loop from scratch, and here we are making a loop from scratch, and that's how I roll. So yeah, big up. Have fun, make music, use whatever you've got, and yeah, just be yourself. Peace.